Yes. So, and it seems we have to start with us, you and me, and Kunchiu, and Kunhang, of course. So I don't have anything in mind. If you do, you want to start off with something?
ค่ะวันนี้เป็นวันดีโชคดีมากสำหรับคุณแอนนะคะคนเดียวเลยค่ะเชิญตามสบายเลยค่ะ
Swadika.
ค่ะ
I'd like to talk about Sanya, Gana Sanya, and Sanya Vipalat. I know we've spoken about it before, but I'm hoping everybody will be okay to talk about it again.
yes
I like how do I put that? I believe I understand Gana Sanya as it's happening now, and it's after, for instance, visual object. Once the visual object arises and is sees, then the next moments, the next processes of seeing and visual object there will be a number of them, and from that the nimitta. Let's just take seeing, nimit of seeing, and that is already a sanya. Is that correct? In a group of being conscious, the nimitta of seeing is kana sanya, and then it will develop. Isn't the right word. It will turn in. It will gradually. The concept, the idea of something, of a phone or a glass, will come, and that is Gana Sanya as well. And all of these would be Sanya Vipalat. Maybe you can help me by letting me know if that's even correct.
okay shall we learn about sanya just sanya in
Yeah.
order to understand the ultimate truth of
Yeah.
whatever is there as just a reality, a conditioned reality. So learning to let go wrong understanding and cling to it years and years ago as something all the time. That's why I keep on just talking about one reality at a time. Okay? So now we don't talk about citta or other cetasika. We just talk about the ultimate truth of that which Buddha say, sanya.
Mm.
It's a reality. It's real because there is remembering now, isn't it? A reality. It
Yeah.
remembers no matter what object is there. It marks and remembers. So now Sanya knows that shape and form as Kun An say.
Mm.
Even no word about Kun An, no name yet. But what is there is collective moment of that which marks and remembers each moment of seeing. And other reality too, not only seeing and that which is seen. What about hearing, smelling, tasting, touching? That reality just arises by conditions and marks instantly of that object by way of remembering it as something or learn to understand that word about it. It doesn't matter, but we are talking about just a reality which arise to mark and remember what is there. It's only function. It can never be changed at all. No matter at what time, any time, what object, it arises to mark. So now, we learn about a reality in order to let go of the idea of I remember
Mm.
in a day, in a month, in our life, or in life. It just mark and remember to just gradually letting go of the idea of taking it from mind at any moment of remembering. So now it's a reality. It experiences the object and it does not perform the function of citta, the chief of experiencing the characteristic of the object, but it arises together with citta to mark, just to mark and remember the object. Its function is that not I or anyone, no cat, no dog, but
Mm-hmm.
sanya is sanya. So now, how many sanyas right now?
Many.
Just open one's eyes, see, closes one's eye. No sanya of that which is seen because nothing is seen at all. But as soon as one opens one's eye, the truth is that so many things around and sanya marks and remember everything. No word about it, but it already marks. So how many moments now? Uncountable, never be as we think, not as one can imagine. That's why it is whatever appears in life does not appear as it is. That's the word in Tipitaka and the truth. So learning about Dhamma, the truth of each moment, is now what we take for things from head to toe. Seeing, hearing is just there, feeling, and the object which is that, everything is just there, not far away at all. But when we talk about citta, no thought about it, where it is. When we talk about sanya, not understanding either where it is. But it is there, not outside the body at all. But it's different from that which is hard. So we learn about what are there as the ultimate realities, different from the other one by one. So now sanya, now marks and remember, not just one object, right? Because
Correct.
just one citta experiences the object and sanya marks only one. That cannot appear at all. By way of the process, just one process and how many processes now. So what appear is the kana sanya, not just one moment of sanya, but many moments of mark and remember. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's the kana sanya of a door, of a chair, of everything. That's why in the Tipitaka it says, nothing can arise by just one reality at all. That whatever appear as something, kana sanya, because of kana sanya. But right understanding can begin to understand that what is there is not just one sanya or one seeing. That's why learn about what is there in life. The truth is hidden. It does not appear as it is. Imagine the moment when one nimitta of one characteristic appear.
Mm-hmm.
What about now? When there's no seeing, just no seeing, all darkness. It's dark. Nothing can appear to be seen at all. And that is true or not. Even just no moment of seeing, the world changed from the world of things and people to the world of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever appear in darkness is that which is now appear, while that is not dark because of the rapidity of the arising and falling away of each doorway is there. Just hidden the truth. So there must be the ultimate understanding, intellectual understanding. Not just learn it's there and then it falls away, the other sanya arises and so on. That is the story of sanya,
Yeah.
but not understanding the reality which is now hidden
May, may I
until
ask a
right
question?
understanding can experience it little by little through different stages of understanding. So, no doubt about Kanasanya. When we talk about Sanya, we don't talk about wrong understanding, Michatiti, or attatiti. We just talk about the reality, which is sanya, the function of sanya, and the object of sanya right now. To begin to understand any moment of sanya as it is not self, it's not anyone. It just now remembers. Is it clear? Kana sanya.
Could I go back to something you said just a minute ago, that when there are many, I guess it would be the nimitta of
One
seeing.
reality. And then nimitta of many realities as
That's right. The
something.
nimitta, that needs to be many realities to make it the nimitta. And then you mentioned,
Often, there are two kinds of nimitta. The nimitta of one reality
yeah,
appear as nimitta of seeing right now, not one single moment of seeing, and the
right.
nimitta of something. The so
Okay.
name, shape, and form is there.
Okay. Thank you. That helps. That helps. So the nimitta of shape and form as well.
Later.
Later. Right.
So how about the truth? See, the hidden truth, unbelievable, that
Mm,
is not as it is appearing right now at all. And Panya is there so sharp to understand just one characteristic of a reality as it is, not mix or mingle with the other reality.
very
Begin to
sharp.
be clear and clear.
Mm.
And that is the truth. No thought
But
about the word, the story, but the nature, the characteristic of
yeah,
that particular reality.
let's see. John, you mentioned darkness
Yes.
just a moment ago. Can you explain that again, please?
Okay, close your eyes now. Never open it yet. Do not open it yet. What is there?
Darkness.
Dark. And what
Most.
is there in darkness appearing?
Uh,
While you close your eyes, what are they appearing? Sound,
yes. Yes.
hardness, smell. All realities appear in darkness except only one doorway,
This.
seeing. So
Yeah.
it's not the world right now as it really is.
Yes.
And Panya begins to understand the truth in order to understand the meaning of no one, no thing at
Mhm.
all.
Yes. Okay.
So the understanding of Dhamma, whatever is there, is right now, anytime,
Yes.
because it's there, so close right now. If there's no thought or consider about this very moment right now, it's not the study of Buddha, it's just study the story
Mhm.
and the word about Dhamma. That's why study Dhamma is begin to study the truth which is so very close now,
Mhm. Always right there.
but it's
Um.
far away from understanding.
Yes.
That's why we begin again and begin again.
Yes. Now, a moment ago, we were talking about uh, in the we were talking seeing, but the nimitta of seeing, and then when 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 um, when there is shape and form, and that's sort of a natural process. You know,
It's
the
the
nimitta of
yeah.
seeing
Mm-hmm.
evolves isn't the right word, but that that produces shape and form, and then so the nimitta
No,
shape
it
and
does
form.
not produce. It cannot produce. It just arises and falls away by the nature of it. No idea that I will bring up the idea of something at all. But
Right.
the procession of the continuity of
Okay.
the ways, not just condition the nimitta of one reality. Later on, it also kana sanya of something there. But
Hmm.
before it can be something known, how many moments of seeing,
Any.
how many moments of Pawanka in between and Mindo in between. So seeing just one reality now cannot appear as just one seeing.
Right.
And now it does not appear as only seeing so many things around. See how very repetitive the arising and falling away keeps on going by
Mm-hmm.
condition. So now there can be the understanding of sanya and kana sanya of one reality and kana sanya of something, nimitta of something. But sanya is sanya, and when it is kana sanya, it means that not only one single sanya, they are together,
Many.
many,
Right.
uncountable, beyond imagination.
Yes. Yes. Yes, for
And
sure. And imagination.
and this is the truth, see, covered up if we don't talk about it. It's just the word of something, atta, as usual, all the time.
Right.
So the understanding has to be planted, enrooted, developed, rehabilitated from moment to moment of understanding. And that is the path, the Eightfold Path. No other moment at all. Because it is the first one, the leader, Samadhi, the
Mm-hmm.
leader, all kinds of parami. See, without parami, how can there be more and more understanding and letting go of ignorance and attachment?
Yes. This is very helpful. Ajahn, thank you.
Because we study Dhamma, and Dhamma is right now. Not the word, not the story, but the word leads to
Mm-hmm.
wise considering of one
Mm-hmm.
reality. Otherwise, we just talk about sanya together with other cetasika, but no understanding of what is meant by khana sanya and so on.
Yes, I can see that. I can see that. So we, in a lot of way, we live in the world of with kanat sanya all,
Ignorance,
all the time. And yes, ignorance.
attachment, and darkness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But and you do understand that the kana sanya is a natural consequence of the chitta and chetasika rising and falling away very fast. So even for an arahat, there's kana sanya.
Yes.
You do understand that, right?
Yeah, I thank you. It's Sukin. Yes. You put that well.
Yes,
Yes, it's a natural process that occurs all the time.
yes. And and there's a difference between kana sanya and sanya vipalasa.
Yes.
Sanya vipalasa refers to the sanya that arises with akusala chitta, not
Yes.
kiriya, not kusala chitta,
Okay. Okay. That's
right?
that distinction. Yeah.
Yeah, so even if there is the experience of people and things, uh, it's not always vipalasa. When there's metta, it's still the object is still people and beings.
Yes.
So it's a concept of beings. So at that time it's kana sanya, but not sanya vipalasa.
What if
So, so when does sanya vipalasa arise? When does sanya vipalasa arise? Any moment of akusa only.
right? That's it. Kusala moments. Yes.
Mhm. No matter it arises with ignorance, attachment, or aversion, or conceit, or whatever. When citta is akusala, because of sanya vipalasa, does not understand the nature of what is there as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But at moment of right understanding, sanya is not vipalasa. It
Yes.
arises,
Yeah. See
yeah.
that. What about um, Kanat Sanya? Um,
What
which arises in
appears
ignorance.
by kana sanya. Is that right?
I'm sorry, Ajahn.
What appears because of kana
Can
sanya.
I? Yes.
No doubt.
Yes.
About the nimitta of sanya, because sanya at that moment is vipallasa. It does not understand the truth of
That's what
sanya as
you
just a
said, what I was.
reality. So when there is the understanding of sanya just as a reality, sanya is not vipallasa.
No. It Sunya arising with kusala.
Kusala, sanya vipallasa arises with akusala.
Akusala. Taika.
That's why arahanta does not have with sanya vipallasa anymore.
Right.
And the akusala citta of anagami still have sanya vipallasa, but no wrong understanding of sanya.
Mhm.
But as long as there are still attachment to sanya or to anything, as sotapanna, sakatagami, and anagami, at that moment when it's akusala, sanya is vipallasa
Yes.
because of akusala moment.
Yes. I see. So always with akusala moments, Sanya is vipalasa.
Vipallasa by
Right.
kana sanya.
Is can be kusala or akusala.
What can be kusala and akusala?
Kana Sanya.
Right.
Yes.
Be- because who can stop it to just be there to be known only one single moment of
Right.
sanya?
Yes. And when it is known, it will be known because of the nimitta of Sanya.
Certainly, even
Okay.
vipassana, whatever
Yes.
arises appear by way of nimitta, and that
Yeah.
is the meaning of kanasanya is there. But
Okay. Thank
only one characteristic of a reality can be known directly, cleverly, sharply. It let go the idea of self
you. Yeah.
little by little, and the other states it begin to have less and less attachment, and the higher states no more attachment to sensuous
Right.
object. But
Right.
kanasanya is kanasanya. Nobody can change it, but understanding can understand deeper as it is.
Mm-hmm. See. Thank you. And all of this accumulates. Yes.
Certainly, what
Yes.
can
Okay.
be accumulated, kusala and akusala,
Yeah. Yeah.
no matter what degree.
Right. And that conditions uh, future arising of
So
whatever.
when understanding is sharper, it begins to understand the truth of
Mm-hmm.
reality. Life does not appear as it is. See, begin to understand the ignorance, very thick, very dirtiness of ignorance. It cannot understand what is there as it is. Learn to understand, to let go. Ignorance, not I or anything at all. It's the reality which cannot understand the truth.
Okay.
No one. That's the only way to have less and less clinging to the idea of self.
Mm-hmm.
How long? What appears now in daily life? No wrong understanding at all. Because it has been eradicated. See, not even any moment at all from then on. No idea of self has been eradicated.
Long eons. Long time.
It doesn't matter because
No,
right is right, wrong is wrong. Right understanding is so very straightforward to the truth. Be true to the truth. How much understanding of seeing right now, comparing to the accumulation of ignorance of seeing, years and years, hundred and thousand years, uncountable years.
very little.
That's it. That is panya. Begin not to underestimate the
Right.
accumulation of akusala.
Very little, just beginning.
So it's a precious moment to understand
Mhm.
the truth. That right understanding just begin to develop from hearing, considering, until there's no doubt about the truth of reality, until it can condition direct understanding of what is that right now. By conditions, the anothernness begin to appear gradually, little by little, because even right now, all are anatta. Who knows what would be the next moment?
Mm.
Anatta is there all the time, but no right understanding to understand it.
Yes, that's the way to look at it.
And this is the only way to begin to have less attachment, begin to wear away, not by anyone or anyway, but by understanding the truth, the
Mhm.
first round of the Four Noble Truth, intellectual understanding, very skillfully.
Mhm. Yes,
And this is the study Dhamma of Dhamma, not just the word in the book. But
right.
the truth is that right now appearing and begin to understand the nature of what is there little by little.
Lots of listening and lots of considering. This is very helpful. Thank you very much, Tanajan.
And this is the only way, see, no other way. That's why it is a Khanti Parami
Yes.
with Viriya Parami,
Mm.
Satya Parami, Adidana Parami, Nekama Parami, Metta Parami. See, all are moments of kusala, to be away from akusala, which hinders the understanding to arise.
Mhm. Yes.
No doubt about parami now. See? No doubt about what moment is parami. It's not in the book.
Right.
The moment of understanding and conditions such kusala. By
Mhm.
conditions, little by little, by conditions.
Yes. Yes. Yes,
When
we can read about these things in the book. Um, we can work with the book, but it never is. It's not
ค่ะคุณแอ
now. It's
น
now. It's alive. It's now.
อย่าคุณแอนทำกุศลมาที่จะได้รับประโยชน์ในวันนี้
ค่ะค่ะ
คนเดียวด้วยคนเดียวด้วยค่ะใครจะรู้อะไรจะเกิดขึ้น
ค่ะค่ะดีใจมากที่มาฟังวันนี้ค่ะดีค่ะดีมาก
เราก็ต้องพูดธรรมะนี่ค่ะบ่อย
ค่ะใช่
ๆถ้าไม่
ค่ะก็ดิฉันอาทิตย์ที่แล้วได้มีโอกาสฟังอ่าสนทนาประมาณเดือนที่แล้วนะคะอ่าอ่าสนทนาแบบนี้หน่อยนะคะสัญญากับคณะสัญญาก็ฟังหลายครั้งก็ดีมากฟังภาษาไทย
เพราะ
ชอบ
ฉะนั้นค่ะเพราะฉะนั้นเราต้องรู้ว่าเราจะพูดอะไร
ค่ะ
เรื่องเดียวสิ่งเดียวให้ชัดเจนให้เข้าใจขึ้น
ค่ะ
อันนี้
ค่ะ
แต่หน่อยไม่มีทางเข้าใจ
ค่ะค่ะเห็นด้วยค่ะ
พระเชิญคุณแอนก็จะช่วยอธิบายให้คนอื่นที่ไม่เข้าใจได้เข้าใจขึ้นได้นะคะ
ค่ะค่ะที่นี่ดิฉันที่บ้านนะคะที่แวนคูเวอร์นะคะไม่สนทนากับคนบ่อยค่ะแต่บางครั้งมีคนที่สนใจก็เราพูดถึงได้แต่มีน้อยค่ะ
ค่ะแต่ถ้าเราพูดถึงเรื่องชีวิตธรรมดาและ
ค่ะ
มีคำที่ทำให้เขาเข้าใจสิ่งที่ปกปิดไว้เขาจะเริ่มรู้ประโยชน์ว่าทำไมสามารถเข้าใจความจริงของเดี๋ยวนี้ได้
ค่ะ
ค่ะต้องเป็นการเริ่มสนทนาธรรมดาให้เขารู้ว่าความรู้กับความไม่รู้ต่างกันมาก
ค่ะค่ะค่ะค่ะ
จริงแล้วเราก็ไม่ต้องไป approach ว่าเรามาสนทนาธรรมะหรืออะไรสนทนาอะไรก็ได้ แล้วก็เมื่อไหร่เห็นทางเห็นช่องทางก็คือเราก็ใส่เข้าไปก็ถามเรื่องนั้นแหละเรื่องที่คุยกันอ่ะแล้วถ้าเขาสนใจที่จะเข้าใจในสิ่งที่เขาพูดถึงนี่มากขึ้นก็คือนั่นก็คือเป็นการสนทนาธรรมะได้เลย
ค่ะค่ะ be more natural ใช่ค่ะ that's right
ฉันก็ทำอย่างนั้นค่ะคุณแอนเวลาคุยกับใครที่ทำธุรกิจด้วยกันคนใน professional เดียวกัน แล้วเราก็อธิบายวิธีคิดของเราเราก็แทรกธรรมะเข้าไปด้วยโดยไม่ใช้ศัพท์ธรรมะเลย แต่ใช้เป็นว่าวิธีคิดหรือวิธีที่เราจะจัดการบริหารคนหรือบริหารงานยังไงอย่างนี้แหละค่ะ ก็อธิบายด้วยวิธีนั้น แล้วก็ค่อยๆพูดไป ก็ก็เห็นว่ามีประโยชน์กับตัวเองด้วยเพราะเราต้องเข้าใจก่อนถ้าเราเข้าใจก่อนเราก็พูดได้ชัดขึ้น แต่ถ้าเรา
ค่ะ
ไม่เข้าใจเราก็จะพูดไปเรื่อยเหมือนกันซึ่งน่ากลัวมาก
ค่ะพูดเรื่องก็ไม่อะไรไม่มีประโยชน์นะคะถ้าคนไม่เคยไม่เคยได้ยินธรรมาก่อนนะฮะพูดถึงเป็นเรื่องอ๋อ I see แต่ไม่มีประโยชน์เห็นด้วยนะคะต้องพูดright ที่ something that accompanies what yes what's happening at the moment
Exactly. You just can't sort of go out of the track.
yeah right that's right
And then it come naturally. This is what I observed it with Tanajan, even though I'm not so getting to see Tanajan as often as people who are in Bangkok. But Tanajan has the way to bring up Dharma all the time.
yes
I was almost all the time. Even when we eating or when I'm talking silly
Mhm.
or if someone going out of the way and thing, Etanajan is always able to bring it back
yes
as what is kusala and what is akusala. And even when you're disappointed with if work cannot be carry on, Etanajan was still able to make you reflect that
oh
that
for sure
that moment it's not right, you know. So I thought
that
it once that we could have absorbed it one word at a time.
mm,
And like the recent trip in that we visit Phnom Penh, I understood better only 2 words. In 3 days, that only 2 words that it's become
oh really
clear. And you have to admit it, that it's the reality of understanding. you can listen all day long and you don't get anything besides mimicking the words like parrots.
Right, squeaky parrots. No, I agree. It's very important to listen, and the consideration. But I also think that it's best when we can delve into tonight, Sanya. This has been very helpful. I've learned a lot.
I think one of our problems is that we, like long stories, and we're not patient enough to just understand one word, one reality at a time. And we like to jump, instead of understanding, as Thanachan today brought us back to the importance of understanding Sanya before
Right.
talking about Ghana Sanya and then Sanya Vipalasa and all that. It's just lack of patience. We just like to know Kana Sanya and Sanya Vipalasa or Thira Sanya when we don't even know what Sanya is,
Right. Well,
So it's just an impatience, lack of parami.
Yeah.
That's what is it? What it is, and there's nothing we can do about it. We are fortunate, as Achan was saying, you are very fortunate to
for
have the
sure.
chance to take part in this discussion today.
Absolutely.
If left to ourselves, we just go wrong.
Well, I think part of the reason I think we go wrong is that we think we don't realize how deep each of these dhammas are. We don't realize the depth of them and the relationship to others. So we think we know the word. Oh yeah, that's what it means, and we think we know for memory, marking, and remembering. We think we know what remembering is, but you really need to go much more deeply into it to realize what it is, and that we're not talking about the same thing when we just talk about conventional memory. We're not understanding that.
That's the other problem, is that we think we understand, we already know. Like some newcomers might hear about seeing and hearing, and they think they already know. Why? I don't want to listen to all this. Tell me something more,
Exactly.
But,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we all started at some point recognizing, for instance, that seeing isn't, what we think it is, what we think about it all, all the time, how it happens. We may have learned that in school, but it's nothing like what it really is. So it takes a while to bend over and, bend to the realities as they are in the Dhamma.
Yeah, and if we look back to the past and think about in terms of how long we've been listening, and still we're there in the beginning, we can see that this subject, this Dhamma, is so deep, so difficult. It's not like others, ordinary subjects you study in school, in colleges, and universities, right? It's not easy. It's difficult.
Excuse me, can I interrupt? Sohan's here. He's attending. So I don't know whether we could continue in English. Sohan, good morning. Is that okay if we continue in English for you?
ภาษาก็ได้ค่ะ ภาษาไทยก็ได้ค่ะ
Hello, Sohan. Are you there? Well, I think we continue in English. Because you see, from my point of view, that later on, once we replayed it, if there's a mixed languages, then it quite it's not as useful as we continue in the same pattern
That's
of
true,
language.
especially if
So
other
please,
people are.
sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
Hello, Kathy.
Sohan, is that okay that
Sorry,
we do it in English? Continue it in English. Is that okay with you?
it's okay. Okay, it's understand. Yes, right.
Okay, good, good. Thank you.
ครับ
คุณสุขินเชิญเลยค่ะ
ท่านอาจารย์ I have a question I would like to ask about chitta, the the reality of chitta that it experiences clearly. Can you say a little more about this? What it means to experience clearly, that chitta experiences clearly. What is how should we understand that? ท่านอาจารย์ did you hear my question?
Okay, now I turn on the microphone. Don't forget, study Dhamma is not study the word about Dhamma, but the word of Dhamma is the way to understand what Dhamma is right now. So it has to begin again and again. Dhamma is everywhere right now. All around are Dhamma. All Dhammas are anatta. See, if we forget, then we think about seeing, but no understanding that we are studying, seeing to understand, seeing right now. So just talk about citta is the a reality which experience the object. Just that, again and again. Is there a reality which experience the object? So, Han.
Yes, there is,ท่านอาจารย์.
Oh, okay, please, what is it?
Seeing,
Okay,
hearing.
okay, just one at a time. Seeing sees what?
Seeing sees that which is seen,
Seeing
color.
what? Okay, but it's not color which is seen yet, it's always something. But learn about the truth. Seeing. See, we are talking about seeing, and there is seeing. Seeing sees color. Can seeing think?
Seeing is not thinking. No, seeing does not think.
Can it hear?
Seeing is not hearing.
Can it remember?
Seeing and remember not the same. No, Ajahn.
Can it like?
No.
So beginning to begin to understand the nature of that which sees. No, nothing
Yes.
else. Only that which sees. It arises to see. And what
Yes,
it
Ajahn.
see, what it see appears to be seen, but so very quickly, just one dot of what is taken for a picture or a glass or anything. So many moments before it can be a glass because it has to be the object which is seen only. In order to understand what seeing really is, as just it is, we have to talk about many things to consider, to have firm confidence of even seeing that which experience the object very clear. See, instead of just talk about it, what about seeing right now? They seeing many things, but only one dot of that which appears as a glass can be seen because only that very, very tiny reality can impinge on the eye base, beginning to learn little by little about the ultimate truth of seeing only. See, before seeing, there's no seeing. But when there are conditions for seeing to arise, it is conditioned to arise, just to arise. As soon as it has arisen, is gone. Is that true? Be truthful to the
Yes.
meaning of
Mm.
each word. It arises by conditions to see. It has arisen and it sees, then it's gone. Then it's gone instantly, unknowingly. But the truth is that seeing is moment of seeing cannot be anything at all. At all. It's not liking, it's not disliking, it's not remembering or anything else. It's just a reality. It's conditioned to arise just to see. And it's different from the other reality which experience the object together. They arise together, experience the object together, but the one reality like the other reality remember, and the other reality just feel, and so on, different ones. So what is seeing? Because it performs the function of seeing. It does not think about anything, it does not remember, it just experiences the object and one tiny object at a time. But since it's experienced the object very clear, so Sanya marks it as this color, and the other moment, same color or different color. And when they arise and fall away so rapidly, one after the other, it conditions the nimitta, shape and form of something. But seeing is not thinking, is not memory, is not considering. It just experiences the object so clear that the other reality marks it and remember it, that it's different colors and so on. That's why I begin to the world full of many things into just one moment of experiencing an object, different moment, moment of seeing. It experiences visible object. It cannot experience nimitta. It's not sanya, but it sees one moment, one object very clear. Otherwise, nothing can appear as different color without the citta experiences the object so clear. Very pale pink, or very dark brown, or just very pale yellow, or whatever is there. If citta does not experience it clearly, there can never be the different color. In mind, thinking about it by sanya keeps on marking the different levels, tip, different object, different object. Is that begin to be clear? It's just citta.
Yes, it's very good, Tanichan. You reminding about different aspects of uh, seeing. First, that it's seeing is not hearing, is not thinking. Second, seeing is not sandhya, it's not vedana, uh, and the fact that seeing sees different colors, light shade, dark shade, shows that seeing sees each one clearly. That I understand, and I think the my problem is that I have not considered all these enough. That's why in my mind, when the reason I asked the question is because when I was thinking about, I can understand that seeing is not hearing, seeing experiences color clearly, hearing experiences sound clearly, uh, uh, touching experiences hardness clearly. But when it comes to the chitta that thinks, I was thinking about the object in that way, such as touching experiences hardness. So thinking, what is the object of thinking at that time, and how can we say that the thinking experiences that object clearly? That is where my confusion was, Tanichan.
Okay, just close your eyes. Can you think about the sound or the picture just think about,
Yes.
not see.
Remember the sound, your voice. Yes,
Yeah.
Kanachan.
So the minder, citta, experience the object which has been experienced through the five doorways.
Yes. And but clearly, what it means clearly here, I don't
Because
understand.
at that moment it's not seeing. So it experienced the object of minder very clear,
Okay.
only that
Okay. That is
object.
good enough. Yes, Kanachan. That's good, Kanachan. Okay. And thinking is not hearing, thinking is not seeing, thinking is not touching, and it has its own object. It experienced that object clearly. Okay. Yes, Kanachan.
คุณโซฮานเข้าใจไหมคะ
Jan, I think I saw that he left.
I see. Yeah.
But Priya is here. Priya, did you understand? Do you understand? Hello? Oh, Sohan's still here. Kun An.
Oh,
Yes, Kap.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and also Ditya.
Yes คุณปา
เข้าใจดีไหมคะ
เข้าใจค่ะอาจารย์
เข้าใจดีไหมคะ ไม่ใช่เข้าใจ เข้าใจดีไหมคะ
ดีค่ะอาจารย์
ดีมากค่ะเข้าใจแล้วค่ะ คุณ
ข
ลิ
อบคุณค่ะ
ค่ะ คุณโซฮานคุณลิเบียเข้าใจไหมคะ
ดีค่ะอา
Okay,
จารย์
Krap Atan.
ค่ะสนทนาต่อไปได้นะคะ เพราะว่าทุกคนเข้าใจแล้ว เป็นประโยชน์ที่ทุกคนต้องเข้าใจจริงๆมิฉะนั้นไม่สามารถที่จะละความเป็นตัวตนได้
ใช่ครับอาจารย์
ค่ะ เชิญสนทนาต่อค่ะ คุณสุขินหรือคุณแอนก็ได้เพราะเขาฟังได้นะคะและเขาสนใจที่จะเข้าใจสิ่งที่เราสนทนาด้วยถ้าเข้าใจธรรมะทุกอย่างเป็นธรรมะสนทนาได้หมด
Muki Tanajan, or Sanya, I like Sanya, the object of Sanya
จ
is
ำจ
Nimitamakha.
ำค่ะเพราะฉะนั้นสัญญาจ
Ka,
ำสิ่งที่ปรากฏ
ka,
ที
nimit,
ทีละหนึ่งทีละหนึ่ง
tilanu,
แต่
ka,
แต่หนึ่ง
de,
จริงๆไม่ปรากฏสัญญาจำทีละหนึ่งแน่นอนเกิดกับจิตทีละหนึ่งแน่นอนแต่สิ่ง
ka,
ที่ปรากฏทีละหนึ่งไม่ได้ปรากฏทีละหนึ่งได้
de, ta,
เดี๋ยวนี้จิตเกิดดับกี่ขณะคะ
ma, la kanat, ka, ma,
ค่ะเพราะฉะนั้นก่อนจะเป็นจุดจุดจุดจุดเป็นคณะสัญญาแล้วใช่ไหมคะของหนึ่ง
ka,
จุด
ka, ka. Oh, may I switch to English for just a minute?
yes any
Thank you.
language
When you were discussing this with Kun Sukin, we talked about perhaps I heard wrong, but for instance, thinking at the stage when it's when Chitta, which sees, has fallen away, then it processes to nimit. Then there will be the nimitta of seeing, and you know something. I think I must have heard wrong. So my question is, when sanya arises, during I'm not doing this well.
so
The moment,
we can talk about any reality in daily life to understand how much understanding of that object is. Because all dhammas are so very subtle, so very deep. Let's talk again. Can you see a dust?
A speck of
Tiny
dust?
dust, very tiny, tiny dust.
Tiny, tiny, right. No.
Really? Otherwise, how can you say it's so very tiny if it's not seen as
Oh,
that?
I see where you're going here. Very difficult, but sometimes one can see a speck of dust.
So we don't think about what we heard, but we think about what appears right
Hmm.
now.
Right.
Can you see a very tiny dust?
Yes.
Yes. But as soon as it's seen as tiny dust, it is the nimitta of many processes of
Yes.
seeing.
Yeah.
See? So begin to understand the function of sanya. It marks each object citta experiences. So how many moments of sanya to just mark that object as a very tiny dust? It's already nimitta, see?
Yeah. Many. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
That's why there is nimitta of one reality and the
Hmm.
nimitta of one thing, many of people or whatever is there now.
Right.
So citta arises and falls away so very rapidly beyond imagination
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
So no doubt now about sanya of each
No.
citta and
No. No.
sanya, kana sanya of one reality and kana sanya of one thing, even
So
just a
cannot
tiny dust.
cannot
That is
sanya
kana sanya already.
one reality. Um,
Not just one moment of seeing, see?
okay. One
Not
reality,
one,
not one
and
moment.
not one
Yes.
process either.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, that clarifies it.
So now no doubt about kana sanya. Even the object is so very tiny. It's
Much,
kana
much,
sanya
much
already.
clearer. Much clearer. Thank you.
And it's not just the dust. The dust is already something, right?
Yeah.
But even visible object, when it's experiences by panya at the level of direct understanding, even that is many moments.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yes.
not just one,
Yeah. I
right?
understand that. Yes, that Lex, that was very helpful, Ajahn and Sukin. Thank you.
The more understanding the truth, all
Mhm.
Dhamma are so very deep, so very subtle.
Yes.
Learn to understand in truth where are we now? In darkness of ignorance.
Mm.
Without the light, the word about the truth, can what is there in darkness be known little by little? Until clearer and clearer, different stages of clear understanding. So even right now, when we're talking about sanya, it's not clear understanding yet, isn't it?
Correct. Correct.
Because just the first level, the first round of Ariya Satya, is it keen enough? Is it sharp enough without talking about it again and again? That it's unknown, it's covered up years and years ago. And just learn about the truth of it, not directly understanding the nature of the truth of it yet, stage by stage, how deep. And it has to be by reality, not I,
Mm.
which is sati or panya or sanya or whatever. Learn to understand what is there from head to toe. Otherwise, if it's not right now here, no understanding of any reality, just the word or thinking, not understanding Where is the thinking? Not out of what is taken for body at all, right now, right?
Right.
So understanding what is meant in Pali as opanayiko, get closer and closer to the ayatana which is there. Not just the word Dhamma, other word help is helpful to understand the truth closer and closer to this very moment, little by little.
For sure.
Just think about the word. How can they be the understanding of what is there right now? See? But learning to understand, we are talking about what is there right now, and each different one by way of Dhamma, Dhatu, Ayatana, or Paticca. See, just learn to understand a little more of reality, which is there right now. See, not just the seeing and that which is seen, also sanya and also kana sanya.
Mhm.
And when it's not forgotten, and there are conditions to think about it sometime, by condition, it begin to be tira sanya, firm sanya of the truth, which condition satipatthana.
Mm.
Without firm sanya, it does not remember what has been heard, what is there as it has been heard. No condition for sati to arise at all. That's why even sati, a reality, has many degrees, many stages, many levels, as other reality like attachment or aversion, all are different by conditions, never to arise again. In samsara, not just in this life. So is it true, so natural, daily life, or a dhammas? Otherwise, I listen, I consider, I understand. See, different way of considering Dhamma. See, is that touching now? Is that we have talked about? Is it remembered as just a reality, that which is hard and that which experience it right now? See, the study of Dhamma is study the truth of what is there, little by little, that it's there to be known, not just to think about. In one's own way, that's so wrong because it cannot be in one's own way, but it's according to the truth, the ultimate truth, which has been enlightened by the Buddha, the enlightened one. And it does not hurt at all to understand the truth of what is there. Understanding is so very precious beyond imagination. The moment without understanding and the moment of understanding, even from the very beginning, is different. So far apart, not understanding anything at all in life from birth to death, and beginning to understand, to learn the truth about life.
And it's because of youth and time that many of us have the opportunity to see this difference. Because if we didn't hear uh, what you've been saying, and we should be in darkness, total darkness.
It's each word out of the enlightenment of the one who's
Yes,
the Buddha.
yes, Tanatan. It's from him.
So do you know the precious quality of Buddha now? Kun Sohan, Kun Priya, Divya,
Yes, อาจารย์
beyond any wealth, fame, or anything in the world, comparing to understanding the truth of what is there at any moment, little by little.
Yes อาจารย์
Are you blind now?
No อาจารย์
Why not?
because of sin จิตตา
Seeing or hearing or considering?
seeing
Really, do you have eye enough to understand the truth of this moment?
no อาจารย์
So is it blind or
yes
not?
อาจารย์
See, so learn to know what
โอ
can
เค
cure ignorance or blindness, not understanding anything at all. Just the word of truth. Understand the truth of whatever, even the word, what is it? Right understanding does not doubt about anything at all. And it depends on how much it has been accumulated to understand what far, what level of what is now appearing, how deep and how far from understanding. If there is no discussion, there can never be the understanding of the truth of what is there at all. And at moment of understanding, it understands the way to realize the truth. It's moment of understanding what is there, little by little. Is there anything you would like to talk about?
Tanatan Cup, for people like us who still have sight, who can see, there is still Dhamma from the past producing eye base and the experience of seeing. It's we don't like to lose sight. I mean, the prospect of having to lose eyes and not be able to see is something nobody likes. We all hate it. But actually, the darkness of ignorance, the truth is, the darkness of ignorance is the real bad thing. This is just a result of karma, not to be able to see, but the darkness of ignorance is accumulating, and that's just bad, isn't it, Tanachan?
And how to have less darkness?
To hear and study the Dhamma, Tanachan.
Yeah. And that is the medicine, the best medicine, not to be blind anymore, little by little.
Yes,
Understanding.
Tanachan.
Yeah. Only way. That's why we spend time to have Dhamma discussion together, or time to read, or time to think about the truth, depending on accumulation. because nothing can arise without its proper conditions at all. That's why now it's the condition for a little more understanding, a little more accumulation of parami. So now, no doubt, without parami, it's impossible to understand even that which is now appearing. It's there, but no understanding of its truth. Until we talk about it little by little, until no doubt about citta, the reality which arises just to experience the object, and it experience clearly the object, not the other thing. Otherwise, there cannot be differences between each moment, which condition is different nimitta. If citta does not experience it clearly, and when there's no understanding the nature of citta, yet it just talked about what it sees and hears and thinks right now. It's there, but not yet conditioned to study it until there are conditions to know citta is there. It's not thought about until there are conditions hearing again and again about the chief of experience any moment. So citta is so
And it's chief.
so
Continue, Thanda.
really.
No, Thandachan, I was just going to interrupt you, and I said you should continue, Thandachan.
Yeah, just not forget about that which sees, that's all. And without attention to the reality, to the nature of that, which just see now. What we mean by experiencing, it sees. What is seen is there. So it's that which sees. The chief of experiencing what is seen so clearly as what is there. Not the nimitta yet, but only that which impinges on the eye base.
And without this seeing clearly, experiencing clearly, and therefore being chief, how can there be sanya to mark each different object as it is?
Yeah, and as we know, the first level of vipassana is nama, rupa, parichetayana. The difference is that not yet the clear understanding of only one object. Imagine before there can be one object experienced, studied, only one little by little. For example, right now, there's hearing and seeing what is studied, not yet, and learn to understand what study, what does it mean. The panya, which knows the characteristic of seeing, is not attained yet, as it is only that which experience through the five doorways and the six doorway, different doorways. The more talking about it, consider the truth, it condition a little more condition for right understanding to begin to attain to the nature, the characteristic of a reality by anattaness. So the anattaness of all kinds of reality begin to be known because now all are anatta by conditions. Even the next moment, who knows before it has arisen? No one knows. That's why Dhamma is to understand what is there as Dhamma, not just the word talking about, but it's real. Citta is real. but it does not appear as anama, a reality, no shape, no form, no color, and it's different from loba, dosa, or other realities which experience the object, because it's that which is the chief of experiencing the object. So consider more. It's there all the time, is it? Citta is there all the time because what is experienced is there in life all the time, from moment to moment, one doorway at a time. Beginning to think about it, attending to the word, the meaning, until it attend to the characteristic of that which experience the object, and begin to understand that when there is a little more attention to the characteristic of citta, the other reality begin to not being aware of or attending. For example, right now, there is the citta which experiences the object. No way to understand what is what, the difference between citta and the object which is seen. But the more understanding, it begins to attend not to the object as something as before, so very quickly, because understanding begin to develop. Only one reality can be directly aware of. For example, there can be the moment of beginning to understand the nature which experience the object. So not mind about the object as before, because at that moment it begins to attend to the characteristic which experience the object. See the way it is, but how long will it be conditioned little by little, time to time, to attend to the object, to the reality which sees, not the object? Is
Ajahn,
that
it seems at this point that that's very far away. Although I do hear that we don't know the accumulations, and it all depends on conditions when any level of panya arises. But I was thinking earlier about reading, hearing, and discussing Dhamma as being a reminder about the reality now. And yet, there's hearing and reading and discussing and no attention to the reality now, just a lot of stories and thinking, but no understanding. So it seems that the direct experience is a long way away from Ajahn.
and that is right understanding. Begin to be sharp, to be keen, to understand the difference between moment without beginning to attend to the nature, to the reality, to the characteristic as a reality, as that which sees. That's why there must be citta anytime, anywhere, any object. But usually in life, in years and years ago, just attend to the object which is seen, take it for something permanent. Atta, living in the world of Atta for how long? And now it begins to understand. Panya begin to see the different world, the world of Atta and the world of Anatta, because what we take for Atta are the collection or the what it is composition of many reality, many cetasikas with citta, no understanding the difference between citta and cetasika. That's why citta is cittanupassana satipatthana, because it's the reality which is the chief of experience, is what is there from moment of waking up, seeing, hearing, so on. Unknown that it's there as a chief. Just attend to the object, cling to it until sanya remembers it's that which hasn't been known yet. It's there all the time, and without it, there's nothing at all appearing, no world. So the world depends on citta, which arises and experiences the object, the chief of experiencing. what is there anytime. And it can be attended even at moment of seeing or hearing, any moment, because it's the reality which experiences the object clearly. Little by little, it's now developing gradually to attend to citta, because citta is there no matter moment of seeing, hearing, or thinking. It does not change its characteristic because it arises to experience the object clearly. Only that. As long as it's not known, can there be nama, rupa, parichetayana?
No, it cannot. There has to be a lot of direct experience before there can be Namarupa Parishedayana.
And this is the panya of the first round of Arya Satya. Never before developed to the degree of understanding the distinction between moment of understanding in words and developing the understanding of the nature of it until it is Katayana. It appears one at a time because it begins with being aware of one reality at a time. So it begins to understand the difference between each reality, even citta and cetasikas. The reality which doesn't have any shape, form, or anything at all as rupa, without any kind of rupa. Imagine, only there experience the object. That's why when there is the question, what is there now? See, what is there now?
Pramachan,
Without
this is one of the hardest questions to answer because it's already gone and there's thinking, then thinking about seeing, and the answer is there's seeing, when actual fact is just thinking about seeing. Pramachan.
it seems like that is the understanding of the reality that you have said, but in truth, not at all. Yet, until what is there now? See, without understanding, no right answer at all. No matter what, it's that which experiences the object there. Isn't right? Is it right?
Yes, yes, it must be only one that is experiencing one chief
It
doing
does.
one function.
Yeah,
Which one is that? Only Panya can know.
it doesn't matter at all. Just begin to understand the very deep and subtle reality. Even it's there, avijja cannot know. That is that which we say citta, the reality which experiences the object. When it's there without that which is seen, and ignorance cannot understand it until it's there, conditioned by the understanding so clear at level of intellectual understanding. That is citta. Nothing appear at all, but it's that which is there, experiences the object. Otherwise, how can it be known as long as the object is known as sound or smell or taste or visible object? See? At that moment, citta does not appear, only the object appears. But in truth, not yet. The attention to the citta, because in life, years and years ago, just attend to that which is seen as something. The world of atta is there. So how great it is, the understanding of the truth of each different one as different realities only. And the chief of experiencing is now What is that? The reality which experiences the object, and the object does not appear. It's the moment to study, to begin to understand that even that is is the reality which experiences the object. So it doesn't matter when it says it is that which experiences the object. When it hears, it's that which, when the object does not appear, it's that experience the object, unknown object. Because the object does not appear to be clung to as something. It's the moment of ignorance or understanding that reality which is there. Nothing with it. So even the way to understand the nature of that which has no shape and form, no any rupa at all, just the pure reality which is conditioned to arise to experience, see? No word of sound or color or anything at all. And that is the reality of the truth. All are dhammas, different dhammas. So that moment is dhamma too, but not yet understood as it is, because right understanding is not enough. It's just the intellectual understanding, little by little, about it. To be known what is moment of studying it, understanding it, or just attend to other reality, and not yet understanding the nature of that until time comes with understanding so sharp about the difference between the characteristic of that which experience the object, the nama, no matter what, and the rupa, no matter what. The distinction between the two characteristics is there. In order to know that in truth there's no one, no I at all, they are different dhammas appearing to be known. And this is just a sample of right understanding at level of vipassana jnana. And now it's time for that which has been heard, beginning to be accumulated, to have conditions for the moment of thinking about it, consider it, understanding it to arise by conditions. Otherwise, we just say, Citta is that which is achieved of experiencing the object, only that level, the word about it. But the nature, the truth of that reality hasn't been directly known yet. That's why there are three levels, three rounds of Ariya Satya. Satya, Dhamma, Ariya, Satya Dhamma. Different levels. ท้อถอยไหมคะ
No, Tanichan, it's you say it doesn't hurt, but I say that it's very joyful to hear the truth.
That's
Tanichan.
it. That's it. The more appreciation of the truth is so very deep, very subtle. But it's there. It can be developed, understanding the truth little by little. Because it's so true and it appears. It depends on condition for understanding. Without hearing, considering, and Thira Sanya, not yet the second stage of understanding, Ariya Satya, second round. คุณแอนฟังหรือเปล่าคะ
ฟังค่ะ
เข้าใจขึ้นใช่ไหมคะ
ค่ะค่ะแน่นอนค่ะท่านอาจารย์ขอบคุณมากค่ะมีประ
ลึก
โยชน์
ซึ้ง
มาก
ขึ้
ค่ะ
น
วันนี้
ค่ะ แล้วก็ลึกซึ้งขึ้นใช่ไหมคะ
ค่ะใช่ค่ะใช่
ท่านอาจารย์ครับ excuse me, may I interrupt? When you speak Thai, Kun Sukin, can you translate it into English too? So, for the sake of people who listen afterward, thank you.
That's a little difficult for me because I listen just in fragments and then I'm not good at summarizing. If a turn talks for some length, I will just be confused and you know
No, I
I
didn't mean,
might
I'm not mean summarizing. I just mean that whenท่านอาจารย์ said any Thai sentence, would you be kind to translate it into English as well? Because one people who listen afterward will not gone smoothly. That's it, just for the benefit of the others. Thank you. Not summarizing, just word sentence by sentence. Like when she asked, Nan, do you understand and that kind of things. That's all. แค่คุณแอนเข้าใจไหมคะแล้วก็
ค่ะเข้าใจค่ะ
ไม่
ฉันแปลได้ค่ะ
ค่ะ or you can repeat it คุณแอน
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the sake of the rest. Thank you.
Right. Ajahn very kindly asked me if I understood what had been said, and I said, yes, I did. And she said, more deeply, and I indicated that it was deeper. And we talked about the usefulness of listening and considering and having the opportunities. I think that's it.
Thanachan Cup, I have a Thanachan, I have a question. I don't know if I mean it's what I anyway. You were talking about talking about chitta. You also mentioned why it is in the four satipathanas. It is chitta nupasana satipatthana, and I was thinking about the fourth satipathanas, and so the question arises. And you explained very well the importance of understanding chitta. And what came to my mind was one of the four satipathanas, which is Vedana Nupasana Satipatthana. The rest of the Dhammas are either in Kaya Nupasana Satipatthana or Dhamma Nupasana Satipatthana. So, like Chitta, Vedana is also separated. Can you say something about Vedana, not Vedana Nupasana, but about Vedana, the importance of understanding Vedana?
Because Vedana appears almost all the time, while Chitta does not appear, isn't it?
It seems, yes, Tanachan.
So
The Chitta
should it
does
be
not appear.
known?
Yeah.
Should it be known because it's there? So
It
any
should.
reality.
Whatever appears should be known. Yes, yes, Tanachan.
So the fourth satipatthana is that everything which is here has to be known. Otherwise, it's there. Ignorance and attachment. So whatever is there, no matter it is rupa, kayanupassana, chittanupassana, vedananupassana, dhammanupassana, all are dhammas, depending on what is there, which appear like kaya, see, hardness all the time, from morning to now, see, hardness, but no thought about it. So it's one reality that shouldn't be forgotten because it's there. And Vedana, feelings there too. Crying, laughing, happy feeling, pleasant or unpleasant feeling is there. But no thought about it again, like any kind of reality. Just learn about it, but not yet attending to the reality which is there in life, which appears. Where Chitta, does it appear? That's why not just the Rupa, Kayanupassana Satipatthana, and Vedananupassana Satipatthana, and the reality which is the chief of Nama. See, if it's not known as it's different from feeling or sanya, how can it be known that it's there all the time? And all the time, it's not known. And all the time, it can be considered that it's there. And if there's no understanding of it, how can we say seeing is citta? Not to be careless about understanding what is there all the time in life, and it is talked about as it's so easy to understand. But in truth, it's not easy at all.
And Acharya, is it also because, for example, seeing and hearing, usually it's taken for I see, I hear, my hearing, my seeing, and similarly in terms of Vedana, the whole day it's taken for self.
That's right.
Um, so is this also one way to look at it? Because if these are not understood for what it is, it's in a day, it just keeps on being taken for self all the time.
Because you see that it seems like it's easy to understand citta, but it's not easy at all. Because lopa is there, appearing as I, but the seeing, it sees, but deeply it's I see. Well, no matter it is thinking or whatever moment is there, it's the chief of experiencing. Is it known now? Is it talked about? Is it considered now? Or not yet, not yet, not yet. Just thinking about feeling or sanya as we talk about it, as khana sanya or nimitta and so on. But if there's not yet the understanding of citta, there cannot be the vipassana jnana at all. Because what appears as nama, no rupa with it at all. And rupa, one characteristic of rupa, but one characteristic of nama included that which is the chief of experiencing too. That's why Panya has to develop on and on and on about what is there no matter what, to understand whether there is still attachment with ignorance and wrong understanding, taking it for I or something. Just to be reminded that is it yet the understanding of citta, which is there all the time? Because in the day we talk about feeling, right?
Yes, Acharya, we talk about feeling.
And we
Yes,
talk about other sankhara dhamma,
yes,
dhamma nupassana
anger, that,
satipatthana.
yes, yes.
That's why when there is the understanding of whatever is real, including citta, Vijnana Khanda, see, it's there. What kind of Vijnana as Khanda? Daily life. So Dhammanupassana includes everything. That's the way the sati is there for different people, different accumulation, different condition to be aware of such and such by anattaness, not at will, not by I or anyone at all.
And then, Acharya, I'm thinking now, for example, dosa, which is a Dhamma, and which should be understood. But most of the time, there's associating and thinking in terms of the unpleasant feeling and calling that dosa. So we can see the importance of distinguishing between Vedana and the dosa, and which is a Dhamma, and both are Dhamma, but that comes under Dhammanupassana Satipatthana, to know dosa as dosa and the unpleasant feeling as unpleasant feeling. They are different.
And forgot about Chitta.
And yes, all the time, Panachan.
That's why it is Chittanupassana Satipatthana, to be reminded. It's there. Without understanding, it is I, for sure. So just the object to be reminded. It's not yet understanding of Kaya, Vedana, Chitta, and Dhamma. Because Chitta is the chief, but no one knows what is meant by the chief. Without it, nothing can appear at all. No world.
And without understanding one, there's no understanding the other. We can't just think that we need to understand Chitta only. Without understanding Vedana, without understanding other Dhammas, without understanding Rupa, it's impossible to understand Chitta.
And that is I who have such idea.
Yes, Tanachan.
วันนี้คุณแอนเข้าใจขึ้นแล้วใช่ไหมคะขณะสัญญา
ค่ะเข้าใจมากขึ้นค่ะ
ค่ะทีละเล็กทีละน้อยค่ะปรุงแต่ง
ค่ะค่ะ
จนกว่า
ค่ะ
จะเป็นทีระสัญญา
ค่ะยังไม่ถึงแน่ค่ะ
ถึงสิคะค่อยๆไป
ค่ะ
เรา
ค่ะ
จะรู้ถึงเมื่อไหร่ไม่ถึงค่ะตรงต่อความเป็นจริง
ค่ะค่ะค่ะ
คือ
มีประ
สำคัญไม่ต้อง
โยชน์มาก
รีบ คุณแอน
อะไรค่ะ
สำคัญอย่าไม่ต้องรีบ
จริง
ไม่ต้อง
ค่ะจริง
อยากจะรู้ไม่ต้องอยากจะรู้ทำให้
อ่า
ถึงยากขึ้น
นั่นเป็นโลภะค่ะไม่ดีไม่มีประโยชน์แน่
เพราะฉะนั้นทุกครั้งที่เราสนทนาแล้วเข้าใจนะคะขณะนั้นบารมีจริงๆจนกว่าจะเต็ม
ค่ะค่ะ
สบายใช่ไหมคะทุก
ค่ะ
อย่าง
สบายดีค่ะ
ค่ะทุกอย่างเกิดแล้วเพราะฉะนั้นพระสัมมาสัมพุทธเจ้าตรัสว่าลืมไม่ได้เลยนะคะพระองค์ตรัสว่ารู้สิ่งที่เกิดแล้วเดี๋ยวนี้
อ่าเพราะว่า
รู้
ระดับ
เดี๋ยวนี้
เร็วๆมากใช่ไหมคะ
และรู้เดี๋ยวนี้ค่ะเพราะเดี๋ยวนี้เกิดแล้ว
ค่ะใช่ค่ะใช่
ไม่ใช่คิดเรื่องอื่นจึงจะเป็นสติสัมปชัญญะ
ค่ะ
เพราะฉะนั้นเพียงคำเดียวใช่ไหมคะเตือนละรู้สิ่งที่เกิดแล้ว
ค่ะ
เดี๋ยวนี้มีแล้วเดี๋ยวนี้
And summarize, please.
Yes, I can try. John asked me again, was I have a better understanding of Sanya, Kanat Sanya, and I was answering yes, but we went on to talk about, oh my gosh, my memory is terrible. Little by little, there will be more understanding. Kun Su Chin interjected at one point that got to be patient. That's true. Be very patient. It takes all of the parami for understanding to develop, and I can't quite remember the last thing we talked about. All in a very similar vein. And I again thanked her very much for the discussion today. It's been very, very helpful.
คุณสุขินช่วยคุณปริยาด้วยสิคะภาษาไหนก็ได้ฮินดีดีไหมคะ ที่ภาษาอังกฤษ
เดี๋ยวผมลองถามคุณप्रिยดูแป๊บนึงप्रिया आप सुने जो आज हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे प्रिया
อยู่หรือเปล่า
ดูเหมือนไม่อยู่ครับ
คุณโซฮาน
น่า
ค่ะ
จะออกไปแล้ว
สามคนที่อยู่
दिव्या आप है दिव्या
जी सर
हाँ तो आप है तो अचानक चाहते हैं कि आप कुछ बोले कुछ आज का जो डिस्कशन किए थे आप जो जितना भी आप सुने कैसा लगा
तो मैं
कुछ
हिंदी में बोल देती हूँ, आप उन्हें समझा दीजिएगा।
हाँ ठीक है
हाँ, तो
अ,
अभी
हम
जस्ट जब आचान बोल रही थी कि हम लोगों को समझने के लिए अभी उतना तो समझ है नहीं, तो हम लोग
हम्म,
मतलब अभी जो भी है इस टाइम पे उसको भी समझने के लिए उतना भी ज्ञान अभी हम लोगों का डेवलप नहीं हुआ है। तो फिर उस चीज़ को जैसे अब हम लोग देख रहे हैं तो ये नहीं है कि वो हम लोग समझ रहे हैं सब कुछ, तो इसलिए हम लोग अभी भी आँख है फिर भी अंधे तो हैं हम लोग, क्योंकि उतना समझ नहीं है। फिर ये तो रुकेगा तो कभी भी नहीं, और यही सब ऐसे ही।
uh, so what Divya was saying I asked her about she was following the discussion and she found it useful and what did she understand today what Divya answered was that just now when earlier when Achan asked about seeing and whether there's any understanding, whether it is there's light, whether there's clear seeing or not, and she responded at first that there is seeing, but at that moment she didn't understand that whether that the child was talking about there's clear understanding. And she answered there's it is clear, means seeing sees clearly. But then she understood that the question was about understanding clearly, and she realized after a chance answer that the understanding is very low, very weak, and it's good to hear. And there's need to hear more and understand more. So that's what she understood. That basically, that in summary, that the understanding now is very weak, and there's a need to hear more and develop understanding much more.
เขามีอะไรจะถามไหมคะ
दिव्या कुछ प्रश्न है पूछना चाहते हैं अचानक से 4 मिनट रह गए दिव्या
जी
है क्वेश्चन है
or anything you'd like to understand
yes आचान one minute.
is it important to understand Chitta right now
Yes आचान.
that's why we talk about it little by little to be conditioned to attend to the reality which experience not the object which is experienced which appear right now
ใช่ค่ะอาจารย์
ดีมากค่ะไม่ลืมธรรมะนะคะ
เรียนธรรมะค่ะอาจารย์
ค่ะแล้วเข้าใจสติหรือยัง
เข้าใจค่ะอาจารย์
เข้าใจคณะสัญญาหรือยัง
understand สัญญา
คณะสัญญา not just the word สัญญา
but its meaning
ค่ะคุณสุขินอธิบายสิคะ
मैं खौचाई खा
दिव्या आप कभी सुना घना संज्ञा
संज्ञा के बारे में
गाना हाँ संज्ञा अलग अलग तरह का संज्ञा है ना
जी
हम विपलासा भी है संज्ञा आप उसका मतलब एक है फिर एक संज्ञा जो डिस्कशन में बहुत कुछ हो रहा था इस 2-3 महीने में
जी
गाना संज्ञा कभी सुना
नहीं
गाना संज्ञा आज जो एन ने उठाया पूछने के लिए
जी
गाना संज्ञा का मतलब ये है जो क्योंकि ये दम्मा बहुत जल्द एक दूसरे के बाद उठ के भंग हो जाता है
जी
और एक एक वक्त एक चित्त को नहीं जान सकते एक संज्ञा को नहीं जान सकते बहुत सारे जैसे सीइंग उठा है वो एक्सपीरियंस करता है विजिबल ऑब्जेक्ट तो बहुत सारे सीइंग उठ के एक दूसरे के बाद उठता है और वही मतलब विजिबल ऑब्जेक्ट को एक्सपीरियंस करता है हम जान सकते हैं इसको कि ये बहुत सारे विजिबल ऑब्जेक्ट जब एक दूसरे के बाद अ, जाने कि ये कुछ देख रहे हैं वो है घना संज्ञा क्योंकि एक एक सिर्फ एक चित्त एक संज्ञा को नहीं जान सकते बहुत
जी
सारे के एक दूसरे के बाद जब जानते हैं ये कुछ है इसका मतलब है घना संज्ञा बहुत सिर्फ एक चित्त नहीं बहुत सारे चित्त एक दूसरे के बाद उठे और जान सकते कि कुछ देख रहे हैं हमारे सामने एक कुछ है ये इसलिए क्योंकि बहुत सारे चित्त है और इसको कहते हैं घना संज्ञा इसको याद करते हैं कि कुछ है ये है
जी
घना संज्ञा जैसे आप जानते हैं कि अचान सचिन कौन है या बुद्ध भगवान जानते हैं कि सारिपुत्र कौन है ये इसलिए क्योंकि बहुत सारे चित्त एक दूसरे के बाद उठता है और संज्ञा उस चित्त में सब कुछ मार्क करता है और फिर रिकग्नाइज हो सकता है कि ये है वो है इसका मतलब है घना संज्ञा
अच्छा
ना
जी जी सर
हम्म
ค่ะ
क्योंकि एक एक संज्ञा उसके चित्त के साथ सिर्फ एक रंग को मार्क करे वो बहुत छोटा है मतलब बहुत थोड़ा है बहुत कम है जानने के लिए वो इसका ये नेसेसरी है कि बहुत सारे एक दूसरे के बाद उठे फिर जान सकते हैं
जी
हम्म।
ค่ะ
कथन है
ค่ะเดี๋ยวนี้มีคณะสัญญาไหมคะ
इस वक्त है घना संज्ञा
है लेकिन हम लोगों को मालूम नहीं
नहीं मतलब समझ नहीं पर जरूर हमको सुनने के बाद ये आपको समझ
जी जी
जरूर होगा
है
कि
हाँ
होना है जरूर तो
हाँ
होना है
जी
खत्मी खत्म है
ค่ะ
there is घना संज्ञा
ค่ะเมื่อวานนี้มีไหมคะคณะสัญญา
कल था घना संज्ञा
हाँ
มีครับท่านอาจารย์
พรุ่งนี้มีไหม
มี
और
ค่ะอา
कल
จาร
जो
ย์
आएगा हाँ
ค่ะ
ओके
ตลอดชีวิตมีคณะสัญญา
है ना
ตลอดชีวิตมีคณะสัญญาค่ะ
ใช่ไหมदिव्या
क्या
तलौटชีวิต मतलब पूरा जिंदगी ऐसे ही होगा घना संज्ञा हर वक्त
जी जी
ค่ะ
ครั
ทุ
บ
ก
เข้าใจ
ชา
ว่า
ติ
ใช่ครับท่าน
ค่ะ ทุกชาติมีคณะสัญญา
और हर जन्म में ऐसे ही है होके आया और होगा आगे
ค่ะ ก็วันนี้ก็ยินดีในกุศลของทุกท่านนะคะ สวัสดีค่ะ